Okay. All right.
Great.
So, thank you for meeting with me today. I really appreciate kind of having this opportunity to discuss some things with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate your time, and you know, we've looked into your business that you've had for 12 years, and we're very impressed with you guys. And this is the type of partnership that we're looking for in our service stations. And we think that this is a unique opportunity for us to work together to, um, come to some kind of agreement today. And yeah, just looking forward to hearing about kind of like the why of why you're bringing your service station to the market, and kind of just get more of like what where you're coming from, so we can try to figure out what's the best deal for both parties. So,
Yeah.
can you talk about just like why you're selling?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so as we've been under contract with you all for some of the features that we sell already currently at our gas station. So the gas, the oil, tires, batteries, and accessories, kind of that we sell and distribute. So my wife and I started this business 12 years ago. We're a two-employee shop. We've built it from the ground up to what it is today. So we work a lot. We work 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, and it's just the two of us. And we're just so proud of this business. It's something that we really didn't want to start bringing on outside people. And so for us, it was just kind of important to keep it in the family. And so that's been our life for the last 12 years. It's just, dedicated to this service station. And I think now that we've done this, we're looking for something a little different, just kind of in our life. We've had some really cool opportunities that have come up that looks like we might be able to go and do and have some of our dreams come true. And so because of that, I think my wife and I are looking to sell this business so we can have some cash to go do those things.
Cool. Love to hear that.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got a lot of pride in your work ethic, and I can really appreciate that. We really value our service stations who work hard, come in and day out, and I really can respect that you want to, you really try to keep it in the family. It sounds like you got a lot of a lot of pride for it, and
Yeah.
I can also appreciate that you want to take your hard earned um, work and have it pay off a little bit and go do what you dreamed of. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, that means a lot. Like I said, we're really proud of this business. It's something that we've dedicated the last 12 years of our life to. Like I said, we work a lot. So 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. It's just my wife and I. And so it's been a great blessing in our life, but I think we're ready to try something a little different. And so that's
Cool.
why really, really excited about the possibility of maybe figuring out a deal here that would allow us to go and do that.
Yeah. Um, so so are you trying to sell the business like quickly? Do you want like a stake in it? Are you trying to like stay involved with the business in some capacity at all, or is this like something that you just are looking for cash so that you can do your next thing and then you want to be done with it? Like what's your goal for the involvement of the business?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. So our next step kind of in our lives is going to involve about 2 years worth of traveling. And so that traveling is going to be quite extensive and pretty expensive. But when that concludes, our plan is to come back home and we want to have something for us when we get back here. So whether that means that we have some cash available to us from the outright sale of this business that we can then take in order to go and do something with when our trip is over, or if there could potentially be some sort of other agreement where we could come back possibly and maybe end up working for you all again. Something that would allow us to basically have enough money to do the things that we want to do, and then either have enough money set aside so we can figure out what's next for us when we get back, or to have some opportunity for us when we do get back.
Got it.
That's kind of what we're looking for here.
Cool. Well, we definitely can, talk about details of what we can offer. There's a bunch of different kinds of structures that we can offer to you. Um, the From our standpoint, you know, you have, a really good thing going. So we really see the value in that. And we want to give you the financial stability that you're desiring. So in terms of like our valuation of the business, we see it as, it's definitely a like something that we can come in and run fairly quickly, but we do see that there may be some upgrades that would be needed. So that's something that we have accounted for, just looking at the current operation. So I don't know if you're ready to hear a number or not, or if there's anything else that you want to talk about before we talk about like hashing out the details. But that's kind of like where we see it, and we want to obviously like put you guys in the best position possible, and we want you to feel good about the deal that we would come up with today. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at in terms of evaluating it.
Yeah.
So, is
So
there anything else that we should know about, or um,
yeah, so I think before maybe you give your number, I have a couple things maybe that I would like to highlight, kind of just
yeah.
about us and what we do. But I think first before that, kind of how I shared, the benefits and the things that I'm looking for to make sure this is a mutually beneficial deal. So what are some of the important things of this deal that mean the most to you?
Um, I mean, so we want to, you know, when we purchase a business, we want to have a staff that is knowing what they're doing. We don't have to spend time training them. We don't have to spend time hiring new people. And that's kind of like why we were interested in you guys, because of your strong rapport with your staff. And we also just like want kind of like a turnkey type thing where you're in a really prime location. You're right by the LA ports. So this would be a really strategic point of view for us, or like location for us, to add to our service station network. So that's kind of like our our top values. We obviously want to get up to speed with the upgrades. That's definitely something that we are prioritizing and going to do, if we are to come to a deal. Um, so that's like, you know we want highly trained staff. We don't have to spend time hiring, and getting the actual service station up to standard is
Okay.
pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think some things that maybe I can kind of highlight for our business then that might help kind of talk to some of the points that and things that you're looking for. So our facility right now is fully environmentally compliant. We have no issues or outstanding environmental concerns, and which I know is a big problem that investors may have while trying to purchase a already existing facility. And right now you hit it right on the head. I think our location seems to be a really up and coming area. Right now we operate 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 6 days a week, but some of these businesses around us, such as the port, they're going to be open 24 hours a day now. And so I feel as though, if you ended up purchasing, especially with this location specifically, there might be some minor changes that if you make will also just boost revenue through the roof.
Hmm.
So with that being said, I think, with this area, there is no environmental concerns kind of at this spot, and we already have an established customer base. We're very proud of kind of the work that we've done. And so I feel like we've got a good thing going with where we are right now. Just looking
Yeah,
to the next chapter.
definitely. I'm just taking notes.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I mean, those are all things that, are appealing to us. And that's why we called this meeting today. Um, but yeah,
So I don't know if you as the buyer wants to kind of throw out the first number this time or
sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. So we valued the business right around $425,000. That's kind of what the market was pulling for. Um, just because we'll have to do those upgrades. Um, so we just want to account for that. Um, like I said, that's like not an all-in or number, and we can get creative on, if like you said, like you want to be involved when you guys come back. But you could even be involved from afar while you're traveling, and you don't even have to lift a finger. So we can like structure it how you want to structure it, um, and just to like fill in any kind of gap. So I'm not really sure if that's even close to what your number was, but when we when we looked at the market, that's kind of where we sat at, and yeah, we feel good with that number. So what were you thinking?
yeah, so when we were trying to decide how much to sell this for, we started looking around at the area to get some comps. So right now there's only two other service stations in this vicinity, which I think makes our location pretty valuable. And these other two service facilities, they're not currently for sale, unlike ours. And so since the price of land has, I don't know what that noise was, since the price of land has just gone up so much in this area specifically because of all these upgrades to the port, it looks like to build a new station somewhere very similar to what we have now would probably cost about $650,000. And obviously, with that, you're going to have time delays, and you're also going to have to deal with the environmental piece of building a new service station as well. And
Mhm.
so we do have a little bit more value that we've given to kind of where we're at than where your number's at currently. But I also agree that I am willing to discuss kind of like the special structuring, kind of as you defined it. That way, we might be able to meet a little bit more towards the middle. So
Okay.
currently, right now, we're making about $75,000 a year on top of that.
Hmm.
So We, along with the fact that a new location would cost about 650 and that we're already having an operating annual income of $75,000, our books say we top dollar, top value 725,000 for kind of where our evaluation is for this.
Okay.
With that being said, because we've had a great kind of working relationship with you, I think before we maybe talk about some of the structuring or anything of that, I think we would like to kind of counter your original offer at 650. So that would be the same that it would cost you to go build a new service station elsewhere. But then the benefit with our business is that you're already getting a $75,000 a year annual income right off the bat, turnkey. And that's before any changes to the business model are made.
Got it. Well, I appreciate that. Um, you know, definitely, definitely want a fair and mutually beneficial outcome. And I appreciate the flexibility. Uh, so yeah, I mean, um, yeah, so I think, I think, so you definitely want to come back to something. So in terms of coming back to something, are you saying like you want to come back to like a role within the company, or are you saying like you want to come back to something where there's like revenue hitting your bank account, um, but you're like retired, I guess.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. So honestly, we're very open. And so, kind of where we're at right now is we would either have to have enough money from the sale of this right now that we could come back to and then do something with as kind of a second act, or um, maybe have a role in this business still that we would be able to kind of financially support ourselves. And so, really, any of the three, we're very open to kind of
Okay,
creative suggestions.
so okay, I'll tell you this. So I can up my offer for just straight up cash, like no incentives, no structure to it, for 500,000. Um, and and then if that is not like appealing to you, like obviously you want to come back to something. So that I don't know if that would work for you. I could do like 425,000, and then I could do a profit sharing type structure. So we would, pay an upfront cost at the closing for 425,000, and then if the profits exceed the prior baseline from the years before, like over the next 3 years, we could pay an extra 25,000 for each year, pretty much. Um, so that's one way we could do it. Does that sound appealing to you at all? Or
So, how would the profit sharing part work? Can
yeah, so basically, it would it would be based on like post acquisition financials. So like what your $75,000 revenue is every single year. If your profits exceed that baseline for the next 3 years, then we'll pay the $25,000 per year. So like if basically if the business performs better over the 3 year term, we'll pay the 25,000 to you. Does that make sense?
is that forever or is it
No, so I was looking at it as a 3 year
3 years?
as a
Okay.
3 year limit. Um, that's yeah. I mean, we if we could go longer, but I don't know if I could do 25,000 a year. Um, yeah, it's not forever.
I'm trying to do math in my head. Okay,
Yeah,
so um, okay, can so just make sure I'm on the same page with you, just to make sure I captured everything correctly. Okay.
yeah,
So one option was just straight up 500,000 cash,
yep.
or we could do some sort of a $475,000 cash with a profit sharing 25K for 3 years as long as we're making
425.
420.
425.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I thought I messed the
yeah,
number up.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. As long as the profits exceed the prior baseline, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I could also do this is another structure that I
okay.
could do
Okay.
is I could give you $475,000 guaranteed, and then a $25,000 earnout, which would be maintaining or growing a monthly sales by 5 to 10% over the next year. We can just if and do a year term, and that would be an additional 25,000, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah. So, kind of from my perspective with the three options, um, so if you have the $500,000 straight up cash offer, so the other ones are kind of what equal 500,000 also over a duration of time, and there's contingencies involved with
Right.
kind of those extras. So I feel like with the profit sharing options, there's quite a bit more risk for me, kind of with those options.
Hmm.
And so because there's more risk, I'm not sure if you would be willing to kind of add a little bit more cash to the deal. But kind of with all three options though, and with where I need to kind of get to, um, I think I need to think for a second.
You got it. Yeah, think about it. You
Okay.
can take your time, and like I said, like we can make a deal today, but we also don't have to. It's like it's I don't want you to walk away from here thinking that you got ripped off or any like I want you to feel like you made a fair deal, and that's it. The only so just to put the perspective of the 500,000 with
Yeah.
all this is we're gonna have to do upgrades anyway, so it's gonna cost close to that new number of pretty much building a new service station. So that's kind of like where we're at. I just have to justify the upgrade costs, um, to make it work, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Okay. What if we were able to either add a little bit more cash, or what are your thoughts on me continuing maybe in this profit sharing model, but then having a place in your um, business when I come back?
Okay. Um, what would that look like?
Yeah, so kind of like I said before, there's going to be 2 years where we're going to be off traveling. And
Hmm.
then when we return, I'm either going to need enough cash to go and find something else to do, or um, something set up to where I would be able to then have employment, uh, so we could financially support ourselves.
Right.
So if you were willing to add a little bit more cash to your profit sharing deal for 2 years with a guaranteed job when I return, that might be of interest to me.
Okay. So are you looking for more cash up front, or are you saying more cash on the profit sharing over like the time period? What would be more comfortable for you?
Sorry,
You're good.
I need a calculator.
Take your time. I know. And I guess another question is how long are you trying to, so when you come back, how long are you trying to stay in business? Like, how long are you trying to work?
I guess until Social Security kicks in. As long as you'll have me.
Okay, cool.
Okay, okay. So what if, okay, what if we were able to do for your profit sharing option,
Hmm.
450 up front with the 25K in profit sharing for 2 years. And then I have I can come back after 2 years, run the store, be your manager for 75,000 a year.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
So, so 450 at closing for 25,000 for 2 years, plus the
Yes.
75,000 a year.
The 75 would be my salary when I come back to work for you.
Okay. Um, oh, yeah, math is hard.
I know. Like,
Here we go. All right. I don't know if I can go up to 450,000 for that, just because it's it's creeping up in terms of the upgrade costs. Um,
it ends up being kind of the same because then that would be 475 total. And then your previous offer was,
right, but it was for the twenty five
or I'm
thousand
sorry, that'd be
a year
500 total.
was for 3 years. So I just the indefinite of paying 75,000 a year. I just don't know like how long that's gonna take. Like how much I'm in for. Which is why I asked like how long you think you'll be working with the company. I mean, as a way of like showing goodwill, I could we could also just operate under your signage, and like keep your like I know that you have a lot of pride in this business, and like you've built it up, and it's it's you want to keep it in the family. Um, so I could do your offer. Um, I mean, I could go back to my original offer and put like operate under your name, pretty much,
Which was which
which
was
was the 425,000 closing at 25,000 a year for 3 years.
and
That makes
would you be adding something to that, or is that just where you're
well. I was saying I could operate under your business, like under your name. Wouldn't change the name to Texoil, basically.
right?
And I could put you on our board.
Oh, nice. What does that entail?
Just having a having like a say in make decision making and the direction we take the business. Yeah, that's kind of where my limit is, honestly. And I don't, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to, you know, put you in a position where you think that you're not getting the best deal for a business that you worked really hard for. So,
So, how does operating under my name, I guess, help me under that deal?
honestly, I think it's a good question. And I really just was offering that as just like a sign of goodwill of like keeping it local, your customer base knowing the brand recognition and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel I agree. I mean, I take a lot of pride in my work. I think it would be great to continue to have that. I also feel like it's a benefit to you to continue operating under that name since we have a very loyal customer base.
Right. That makes sense too. I see that point of view as well.
So unfortunately, with I think your most so with the offer kind of out there right now, 425 with profit sharing. So just to make sure, when you say I just want to make sure I didn't understand you. So when you said 425, what like at closing, like did you mean like you would pay closing or just 425 cash straight up?
I would pay closing. So at closing, we could do it quickly. If you need the cash quickly, I would give I would pay you 425,000, and then the profit if the profits exceed the prior baseline over the next 3 years, I would pay 25,000 a year.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So the it's a good offer. The problem is the amount of money that I have to pay in taxes on this doesn't
Mm,
get me where I need to be. And so
okay.
that's kind of the issue that I'm having right now. And that's why I have to keep doing all this math. So so basically there's capital gains tax of like 15% on the sales price. So we have $120,000 of depreciated assets that we can take off the sales price, and then I have to take 15% of whatever that number is, and then that's what I have to pay in taxes.
I see.
And so that's the amount that I'm going to be able to go on my trip and live off of for the rest of my life is that number.
I see. Okay.
So that's kind of that's the difficult part for me right now is trying to navigate that piece of the.
Right. Right. What if we split the capital gains tax with that
This sounds very interesting.
425 up front plus the 75,000? It'll be a one-time expense for me. And you know, I'm I'm just trying to show you that I want to work with you.
We're like so close. I really need a calculator. Hold on a second.
Yeah, let me know what that number is, and then we can. I'll split it.